I worked in bookstores for 15 years, and so many things happened, I need to tell these stories. One day, I was at the customer service desk, as I normally would be, and a lady came walking up and she said that she needed to find books about pregnancy. And I said, "Oh, great, I can show you those. That section's right over here. Are there any particular books you're looking for?" And she seemed kind of annoyed that I was asking her if she was looking for something in particular, which is unhelpful. But she said yes, she wanted books about hypnobirthing and pain-free birth. So I said, okay. And I took her over to the section and showed her those books. We actually had a lot of requests for hypnobirthing. There was a church in the area that was a big proponent of that for some reason. And I gave her that book. And I gave her, the other books we had about like sort of spiritual, meditative, pain-free birth. And she looked up at the signs in the section and she started to kind of grill me about like why we had different signs above the different sections of books. So how the aisle went is the first sign on the end of the aisle said health. And underneath the health section was a bunch of different smaller sections like nutrition and general health manuals that list all kinds of stuff, things like that. And then the next sign said diseases. And that section of books had a bunch of books about different kinds of diseases and conditions people can have. And then the next sign said women's health. And under that were books about general women's health. So not pregnancy, but other things about women's health. And then the next sign, which is where we were standing, said pregnancy. And under that sign were books about pregnancy. The whole rest of the aisle was actually pregnancy books because there's lots of them and many people buy them. And she was like, "Ugh, women's health is a disease." And I just kind of stared at her because I was very confused. And she puts the books down and she grabs the guy next to her and she goes, "We're leaving. Women's health is not a disease," and just storms out. I was so confused. She just didn't like that the signs above the different sections of different types of books. I don't know.